boys and girls, and welcome back to Storytime with Sister Yvonne. This week is our last lesson on the armor of God, and our focus is the gospel of peace. In the Roman time, soldiers used to wear special shoes to cover their feet whenever they went into battle. The Bible refers to the gospel as shoes or sandals because it reflects the way that we should walk when we go into a battle. Remember, God is a God of peace, and He's gonna fight our battles for us. If we keep our peace, if we stay still during our problems and our trials, God is gonna help us have that peace that surpasses all understanding, and in turn, He's gonna help us win our battle. The story that I'm gonna share with you guys this week is in 1 Samuel chapter 25, and it's the story of Nabal and Abigail. And in this story, we can see how Abigail chose peace. Let's see the story so that you know what I'm talking about.
In the Bible, there was a rich man named Nabal who was known for being rude. Nabal had a large flock of sheep and goats, and a wife named Abigail. Unlike Nabal, Abigail was known for being sweet.
Hi.
Not far from where Nabal and Abigail lived, King David and his men were camping. David needed some supplies, so he gathered some of his men to send to Nabal's house. He told them to greet Nabal with kind words, and Nabal should return their kindness. So the men went to Nabal, greeted him with nice words, and asked him for some supplies. But Nabal was nasty. Go away! He shouted insults at them and told them to leave. The men returned to David and told him the things that Nabal had said. David was furious. He told his men to grab their swords so they could get even with Nabal. Meanwhile, back at Nabal's farm, Abigail heard how poorly Nabal treated David's men.
Oh no.
She knew her husband's bad attitude could mean trouble for them. So she gathered food and supplies and loaded them up on donkeys. David and his men stormed through the desert, ready to get revenge on Nabal. Suddenly, they saw someone approaching. It was Abigail. Abigail bowed down to King David and begged him not to hurt Nabal. She asked David to stop and think before he acted out of his anger. David took a deep breath and thanked God for sending Abigail to calm him down. David accepted Abigail's gift of supplies and went home, instead of doing something he might regret later on.
Hooray!
Because Abigail asked him to think about forgiveness, David chose peace instead of anger.
I hope you enjoyed that story, boys and girls. Remember, in this story, we were able to see how Nabal was so rude with King David, and King David was so angry and he wanted to take revenge. But Abigail had a sweet and calm spirit, and she decided to talk to David, and that changed David's heart. So David chose not to take revenge because Abigail chose to walk in peace. And just like Abigail, when we encounter our enemy, instead of raging war against our enemy, we have to walk in peace. We have to let God take revenge, and we have to let God win our battles. That is how we use the gospel of peace to win our battles. Hello, boys and girls. We have officially completed our classes on the armor of God, and we're going to review what we have already learned. We have learned that it is important for us to have the helmet of salvation in order for us to protect our mind from the attacks of the enemy, the breastplate of righteousness to protect our heart. It is important for us to have faith. Remember, without faith, it is impossible to please God. It is important for us to walk in the truth of God and to be truthful in order for us to win our battles. It is important for us to know the Word of God in order for us to proclaim the Word of God to win our battles. And finally, it is important for us to walk in peace. For us to walk in the gospel of peace to fight our battles and win our battles. And now that we know what the armor of God consists of, the coming weeks we're going to learn how to use the armor of God in order for us to win your battles. See you next week, and goodbye.